What's up, people? YouTube, this show here bringing you guys another video to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about Modern Warfare 2's Gunsmith. There's not a lot of information out there. I've watched probably 4 or 5 different videos from 4 or 5 different creators, including Driftor, Prestigeiskey, E. coli Espresso, Butters, a bunch of different content creators talking about the Gunsmith and different parts of this system that they were able to see. And to be honest, there's a lot of different information out there. Some of it lines up, but some of it is different, and I kind of want to give my input, my take on everything, and kind of what I hope comes from this new system in this video here today. But if you guys are new to the channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'm going to be having more consistent content out moving forward. I've also got a Let's Play going up as of right now of The Quarry, so if that's something that you're interested in, feel free to check that out. But let's go ahead and let's hop into the Modern Warfare 2 Gunsmith. Now, one of the first things that I saw throughout all of the videos that people were talking about is some people were looking at it and they were like, oh, there's only 3 attachments that you can have, but maybe there's a way to get more. Some people said that there were like 5 attachments. Some people said 6. Some people said that they saw 10 attachments. But thankfully, Infinity Ward had clarified somewhere, I don't know where this happened, I saw it on Charlie Intel's Twitter, that there will be more than 3 attachments, less than 10 attachments. So it gives us a little bit of information, and me personally, I was really hoping that it was going to be more than 3 attachments, because in my opinion, with current Call of Duty, you know, Fortnite has their skins, Call of Duty has guns. That is what the show is when it comes to Call of Duty. Like, yeah, you have character skins in Call of Duty, and it's cool to collect those, but you can only see those in the menus when you're walking around. The real star of the show when it comes to Call of Duty is the weapon that is in your hands, and being able to customize that and make it look as cool as possible is what is most important. So just on that side alone, I was really hoping for more than 3 attachments, which it looks like that's what we're going to get. That being said, I don't particularly want to see 10 attachments. If they go that route again, I won't be mad about it, but I think 10 attachments was a little far. I also think 5 attachments is a little low. Not by much, but to be completely honest, I think that Black Ops Cold War had it spot on. What did they have? 7 attachments, maybe 8? I think that is the sweet spot. Anywhere from, I'll be generous, I'll say 6 to 8 attachments is the sweet spot in my opinion, where I feel like I have a lot of stuff on my gun, but it's not overkill. I'm not worried about too much. Now, there was something else that they had mentioned in all of those videos, and they all had a take on it that I was kind of shocked by, and I think I have a different look on this, but maybe it's because I haven't actually seen what they saw, obviously, and that is the fact that there are tunable attachments. Now, I'd imagine it's not every attachment, but I mean, maybe it is, and there are basically 2 sliders on the left side of the screen and then one on the bottom side of the screen that allow you to adjust the like recoil, weapon stability, ADS speed on each attachment, and I'm assuming like when you adjust for each attachment, it kind of correlates into the overall handling of the weapon with those things that I had just mentioned, you know, handling as far as weapon ADS speed and recoil and all of that. It was basically a system that would control the weight of the attachments that you're using, from what I understand, and that weight would in turn affect how quickly you can ADS or how much recoil your weapon will have because of how light it is or heavy. And I kind of like this. The fact that it's just 2 sliders, you know, it's not like you're having to put in exact numbers. It's not like you're having to really change much of anything. You're just adjusting 2 sliders. Yes, is it going to cause a lot of different levels of confusion in the player base when they're trying to figure out what the best attachments are, because, you know, maybe this foregrip set to this tuning level with this stock set to this tuning level is way better than another attachment that is meant to do what you're able to do by adjusting the sliders with these 2 attachments. I'm sure that there's going to be a ton of stuff like that out there, but to me, that is the art of the game. Again, the gun is supposed to be the star of the show, and this adds another layer to that. So I'm all for it as of now until I actually can get my hands on it. Once I see it in the beta, or if that's even going to be part of the beta, then I'll be able to give a better assessment of it and kind of express how I feel. But as of right now, I think that the tunable attachments and there being anywhere from 6 to 8 attachments is kind of the sweet spot in my opinion. That's really what I would like to see. Now, there's a few more things to talk about here. In the Gunsmith, they had mentioned that there are different ways to unlock guns now. It's not like it was in previous years where it was like you get to level 15, you unlock an MP5. You get to level 25, you unlock an M4. They're based off of the weapon platform, which if you don't know what a weapon platform is, it's kind of like the M4A1 is a platform in and of itself, or the M4 is a platform in and of itself. And off of that, you have the M16, and then there's the M16A1, M16A2. There are DMRs that come off of that. There's LMGs, there are SMGs that have the M4 platform and M4 body and all of that stuff, and you unlock new weapons through that system. That's how I understand it, but here's kind of what I think is going to happen. And I think it's going to scare a lot of people at first, but again, this is something that I think can be really, really good for Call of Duty. So let's say that they have weapon platforms in the game, right? Right off the bat, there are significantly less weapon platforms than there are just standard weapons. Obviously, the game is going to look a lot beefier if you have an M16 as a gun, an M4 as a gun, an MP5, an MP5K. Like, if those are individual weapons, it's going to stand out a lot more, and the weapon count is going to be a lot higher. I think that this game is going to launch with less weapons on a surface level. We might see 20 weapons, and out of those 20 weapons, half of those will probably be platforms, if that makes sense. So within those platforms, you have a bunch of other weapons. Take the AK-47, for example. You have the AK-47 up there as its base platform, and then you can get the AK-12, you can get the AK-74U, you can get the RPK, and that right there is 4 other weapons off of just the AK-47. So it's kind of like the weapon conversions from Modern Warfare 2019, but it's more deliberate. It's more purposeful as to like trying to get you to actually do it, because it is a whole nother weapon. And if that is the case, I think that is really, really fascinating. Now, one thing that I want to see happen is when you're unlocking these weapons through the weapon platforms, I don't want it to take away from the attachments that you can use. Like, let's say you can have 6 attachments in this game, right? I don't want to have to spend 4 of my 6 attachments to make my AK-47 the AK-74U. I want to get to a certain level with my AK-47 platform that I unlock the AK-74U that I can then put 6 attachments on, if that makes any sense. That's what I would really like to see, and I kind of think that's the direction they're going in. I'm really interested to see if I'm accurate on that, if I'm correct, because again, weapons are the star of the show, and I think that that adds a lot of character to the guns and a lot that they can do moving forward. So the last thing I kind of want to talk about here is the weapon vaults that we've seen a little bit about. There's the FJ, I can't remember what it's called. It's like FJ Cinder Pack or something that is the first weapon vault. And I was really confused about this because I almost kind of thought this was a rename for Blueprints, but I don't think that's the case. I've watched, a couple other creators' videos on it, and I think that Prestigeiskey has it the closest. I think that the weapon vaults are going to be the way that they sell you a weapon blueprint, but yet you're able to keep the look of that blueprint across all attachments that you interchange. Nobody likes to buy a blueprint for a weapon and then you go and put certain attachments on it and it takes away from the look of that gun, because you bought that gun because of how it looks. It looks cool. We want to maintain that throughout our attachments. The one thing that concerns me about this system is I don't think it's going to be available for all weapons, which again defeats the purpose, in my opinion. A leaker on Twitter said that this is going to be something that is very, very rare for guns in the game. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe a handful of these release at launch, and then we maybe see with every season that we get maybe 4 or 5, while we're, getting 30 new bundles in the shop. We're only getting 4 or 5 of these weapon vaults. So I don't know. I'm curious to see how this works, but I really hope that if that is the case, if these weapon vaults do maintain the look of weapons across all attachments, that they make sure that this is something that can be done for all guns. And it doesn't have to be crazy, it doesn't have to be super detailed. It just has to maintain the same look. Like if I'm using an MP7 and it's got this like blue metallic theme or something, but I change one attachment, I change my barrel out for a better barrel, and now all of a sudden 3/4 of my gun look like the blue MP7, and then the barrel area just looks like a stock MP7. Like, that is bad. You should be changing that to where the barrel section, whatever I change it to, it doesn't have to be, you know, as front and center as the initial attachment, but it should have a blue theme to it. It's something to make it match is my biggest complaint. Anyways, guys, that's my take on the quote-unquote new gunsmith and how all of that's going to work. I'm hoping that everything that I've kind of said here is accurate, and hopefully the weapon vault system is a little bit more fleshed out, and there's a lot more access to that across all weapons. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe for more content, and deuces.